Welcome back, you lovely weirdos, to this, the FIFA 17 Ajax Career Mode. And guys, we are in a bit of a pickle. The last episode, I asked you, what do we do about the big bad Bazoer situation? It's heartbreaking. I love the player, but he is confirmed transferred to Wolfsburg in the January window. Now, I asked on Twitter, and if you haven't checked me on Twitter, check me out, at @BModest, on the Twitters to keep up with all the latest and greatest with yours, truly. And the vote was, about 60 to 30, well, not 60 to 30, but 60-40 to sell him. But then when I hopped onto the YouTubes, it was reversed. It was 60 to 40, keep him. So, it was, I'm torn, man. I love the player. And I get it. I get why he's moving on in real life. He wasn't getting the playtime. He was on the bench. He has aspirations to, get minutes. He's young. He needs to develop. But under me, I've been playing him the whole entire season. He's been doing quite well. So would he move if, in this alternate reality, if Hikari Mugen was there? It's really tough. But I think, even if I do keep him, I'm not saying if I do. Even if I do keep him, I'm not going to keep him any longer than this summer. Because I think he's a player that has dreams of playing, in the different leagues of Europe. And you don't want that player on your team, man, who's just itching to go. So I think it might be better off to just sell him in this window, bring in someone who wants to be here, and keep them going along. You know what I'm saying? Give them minutes, because otherwise we're just developing a talent for another team. So there's a lot of stuff, that we're kind of dealing with in this episode. That's the struggle that I was going with. We're in the middle of the January transfer window right here, so I got to make my decision quite quickly. And as you can see, 2 games on the docket today. First up against Utrecht. And you know what I've said about Utrecht in the past. Same thing applies, kind of a one-sided thing. We sit atop of the Eredivisie with a 7-point lead ahead of Feyenoord. PSV, thankfully, slipping up, getting their second loss of the season, because the first loss, that was to us. And then they have been undefeated from that point on, keeping an incredible 9 to 10 clean sheets. Ridiculous. All right, we're going to the press conference. A little bit of rivalry between the two, but it's mostly between the fans. Utrecht doesn't really have the financial backing to really compete with us consistently, and that is going to be the same thing right here. We have the better players, and this is the kind of stuff that we've been going. We finally sell Westerman, the guy that all you Ajax fans seem to hate. You have no reason why you bought him. And we were going in right away. It was like, all right, we sold him. We're probably going to get rid of Bazoer. Let's get Axel Witsel, and he has already agreed to go somewhere else. I know, heartbreaking. A lot of you guys wanted Axel, and I apologize, but we just didn't have the money at the start of the window. And then when we eventually got it, he had already signed, and I mean, as consolation, we are going in for a guy that I kind of feel like fits more in Omar El Kaddouri. His stats fit very favorably to Bazoer. He's younger than Witsel, age of 26, so he has a little bit of room to grow. He's cheaper than Witsel, and he's of Moroccan descent. So he kind of ticks all of the tax that you want in a possible player that could come to Ajax. I think it was more realistic anyway. I don't think Axel Witsel, once his contract is up with Zenit, that he would actually come to Ajax. I'm sorry, no offense to the Eredivisie, but it just feels like he would rather play. He feels like a player that would rather go to Bundesliga or the Prem. That's kind of what suits him, in my opinion. But anyway, we're messing around with a little bit of nicknames. We're trying to sell kind of our fringe players to get a bit more money. Maybe grab another player or two in this window. Look for a couple of hidden gems. But first up, we got to go up against Utrecht. I hope I'm trying to pronounce that right. And usual suspects that are in there, except Adam Milson. I thought played well in the last couple of matches, so he will start ahead Bergkamp Traore. Veltman is going to be going pressing out, putting Kenny Tete in. Younes onto the bench. Traore will be on the bench as well. Actually, we'll switch him out. I don't know what to do with Bergkamp Traore and Younes. And a couple of you guys have been saying that Cassiera, he hasn't really been impressing all that much. Maybe we'll go ahead and look to put him out on loan. Ever since hitting that 65-yard banger, he honestly hasn't really done that much. And with the emergence of Isak, the next Ibrahimovic, he's a little bit of a surplus as a club. Maybe we go ahead and we look for a different type of player, because Dolberg and Isak are kind of the same type. They're kind of like big, tall target men. Maybe we look to bring in a speed merchant to kind of have a change up late in games as maybe a super sub of some sort. As you see, usual suspects are in there. Leon Bailey out on the left. Big Bazoer will start in this game. We need to show off our wares if we are going to sell him. Klaassen, Ziyech, and Dendonker. And as you can see right there, going ahead and profiling him. I totally forgot. When I saw his red gloves, I totally forgot. We have to do an episode maybe after the transfer window where we profile the player and then we go ahead and deck out like, not costume-wise, what I'm saying, just like their gear. So if you have any suggestions on what type of gear or boots or kits or like gloves that people should be wearing, let me know. All right, enough of me dribbling on. In this match, it was all Utrecht in the first half, man. And look at this. This is what I'm going to miss. The vision, a spectacular long ball, a Hollywood ball from the Big Bad Bazoer. This is his final match. That is a beautiful showcase of what the boy can do. Unfortunately, we kind of fuck it without Milson. And then they are off away on the counter, but we win it back. Once again, Tete winning two back-to-back tackles. Ziyech into the middle to Dolbergson. Good hold-up play. Sees Leon Bailey to the overlap. Giving it back to Dolberg. Beautiful spacing. And the man known as Dolbergson goes ahead and bags his 12th of the season. Great, patient build-up. A lot of back and forth. That kind of just displayed like the formation as a whole. You need really athletic players in those back three. So Tete, Sanchez are absolutely key to the formation. And that's kind of why I struggled up against the likes of Borussia Dortmund when we don't have like the right personnel to play formation. You get torn asunder. And even when you do, look at this. Tete was on a freaking tear in this one, man. Absolutely saving our butts. Coming over, flying over. And then, you know, 3-4-3 things. I wouldn't really blame the defenders on this one. It's more of my, you know, poor defending right here. Onana's protecting that post, but when they ping it, if they hit it off of the post, there's nothing that the keeper can do in those types of situations, so I'm not going to blame him. For the second time, though, holla at your boy. We might have started looking at him because that's the second time he scored against us. But we respond almost instantly. Adam Milson rewarding the gaffer for putting him ahead. And I thought, you know, he's Brazilian. You got to do a little bit of that South American flair. I thought this would be appropriate. I was trying to do the samba, but I forgot which one. But the weird booty flamingo dance, I think that's pretty accurate. Lovely tuck away, though. Look at that picture-perfect finesse into the top bins. Gotta love that. And the man who's been, you know, we've been playing Cherney out there. We've been playing Traore out there. I brought him over from Gambo Osaka this whole entire time. He's been the good soldier, and now, you know, given the opportunity, he's really starting to shine. And we hold on to a 2-1 lead going into the halftime. But in the second half, this game was incredibly back and forth. Ruwald going ahead, firing that up. Then Dendonker too slow in it. That's one of his weaknesses, not the quickest on turning and dribbling. And then he gives away the ball in a dangerous position and a floopy. What a flooper. The floop to do from the Zorg the Zak. Delicious, delectable titty bits in this one. Look at that, right-footed on the volley. Just lifts it ever so slightly. Just airy. Oh, just look at the fluff. And Onana maybe just caught a little bit flat-footed there, cannot get over, and it's a weird shot. I don't know, I was just bamboozled by that one because I've never really seen a shot. I'm literally scratching my head right now. It's like, I've never seen a shot like that go in before, or hit with that power. It's so awkward. It was just too awkward. But then, for back-to-back, this game was so freaking back and forth, back-to-back. Leon Bailey, Dolberg getting the goal, but that was all the Jamaicans doing right there. He was just going ahead, drying out the jerky, seasoning it, and then when the time was ready, he was like, "Hey, Dolberg, you want to taste a little bit of this jerk? It's pretty good. It's pretty good right here." And we're playing the Alkaline in the background. I know you Jamaican fans. I didn't know there were so many of you watching this Ajax Career Mode. For all you Jamaican fans out there, big ups to you. Shout out. Watch out. And then this one, a little snippet that I put in, I just like watching that on the replay. I was like, where did that guy come from? Calm down now. Dolbergson, such a beast, offhandedly just goes ahead and RKOs that dude out of nowhere. Then Bailey trying to do a little bit. I wanted to get him a little bit of shine, but still got to train him up on his finishing. And look at the dastardliness, the dirtiness from Tete. Oh, he goes ahead, steps on the man's head, and gives him a concussion. Dastardly stuff. The dark arts of the defensive. But for much that we could muster, Utrecht was sensational. And it's the same dude who did the floopy, Ayub the floop. goes ahead, no floop on this one, a laser beam, a frozen rope, a lead pencil, and other things that are straight. Right. 3 perfect shots, man, to get past Onana. You could say that this isn't Onana's, best performance, but all those are quality shots to get past them. I can't really fault it. But we possibly could draw another match. We've been in poor form until the man steps up. Riechedly Bazoer. Going ahead, netting himself a hat trick and a punctuation, an exclamation point at the end of his performance. Lovely touch. It's the first touch that he gets right there. To place it, to tuck it, and push it into position so that I can fire onto his non-preferred left foot, my add. He's supposed to have low composure, and he puts in... That's a difficult shot for any striker, a world-class strike, and that is a glimpse of what he can become. If he can consistently put shots like that away, that is Suarez-esque, man. He is taking a bite. He is taking a bite into Ajax history right there. Of course, if you get yourself a hat trick, you get a 10.0 automatically, but phenomenal performance from both of our wingers, Adam Milson and Bailey, terrorizing, the fullbacks of Utrecht. Good stuff from them. 5 shots on target, 4 of them find the way, and an absolute barn burner. 4-3. And you guys will be like, you gotta play more defensive, you gotta play like 4-3-3. No, when I play 4-3-3, the games come out like 1-0, 2-0. It's boring. Wouldn't you rather see a 3-4? Like, let's play like Leicester, man. Let's go balls to the wall. All right, we're keep on negotiating. We've got a little bit more funds, selling a couple of youngsters. If these youngsters are really good in real life, I've done my best researching, so hopefully I'm not selling off any like brilliant wonder kid that everybody loves from Ajax right now, but they're not all that great in FIFA and they're never gonna be, so I do apologize. But we're bargaining back and forth for Omar, the Napoli man. Says he loves it in Italy. He doesn't want to come play in the Netherlands, but there you go. You increase the moolah just a little bit more, and then he's like, you know what? I might like to play for you guys. I don't know why he has a New York 1920s accent now, but every time I talk as him, he's gonna have this accent. Even with the signing of him, we have a little bit more room. I do apologize once again. I know a lot of you guys really wanted Axel Witsel, but we just didn't have the funds at the time that we needed him. He just straight up bounced before, and so I was thinking, maybe we're going for Jan Huntelaar. I believe he was a former player at Ajax, and he was the player that we were going after at the start of the season. But then with the emergence of Dolberg, and him being, like 33, and us already having Isaac, we had like a good backup striker. I just felt like it would be a waste of money. We would bring him in, he would deteriorate way too quickly, especially with the play time, and I held back on that. I'm being frugal. I don't know why I'm being that frugal. I think we still do have to pay. I don't know if I'm going to pay for Bergkamp at the end of the year, to be honest, but I don't think we have anyone else that we have to pay for at the end as well. Maybe Galmedas? Not totally sure. But in the second match, we're going up against Vitesse? Vitesse? I believe is how you pronounce. I apologize. I was pronouncing it like Vitesse. That's like a French. Oh my god, I had a burp right there. Alright. Let's get into this, guys. Of course, all that is said, that can be said, has already been said about this. We sit a lovely 7 points clear with a game in hand right here. We're looking like we might be able to run away from the Eredivisie, but then we kind of came into this one as a sleeper. I was like, hey, yeah, we're 7 points clear with a game in hand. Let's give it to the guys. Let's give it to the youngsters. A good mix of people in this one. Of both young and, of course, some of the first teamers. And it felt that way. It felt disjointed because, I don't know, maybe it's because they haven't played together. I haven't played with this, type of players together. There was some quality here, and then it was just like a misplaced pass here or there. But then, Van der Beek from distance. But in the first half, it was, you know, the story of like how chances Broyne, the youth scout player, not showing all too well right there. Poor agility, but oh, not a great kick save. That is what he does in real life as well. And then Sanchez, really poor slide tackle right there. Onana left stranded, and we are lucky that the post was just that short, you know, in that situation. A really back and forth game, but if we're going to be honest, Vitesse were the ones that were the forerunners in that first. They definitely, you know, it was still 0-0 on the score sheet, but they deserve to at least maybe get like one goal. In the second half, good vision from Ziyech to Van der Beek. Van der Beek into the middle to Bazoer. No, it was Klaassen right there. Sorry, I got my blonde-haired people messed up. But there we go, Gilminus earning a penalty. A little bit of a softy one, but it still is. I went ahead and hit the shield button. He goes, nah, yeah, that's a penalty through and through. You can't do that, kid. You cannot do that. True throw nonetheless. That is a true pen. We're going to go ahead and put Dolbergson on hit. We want to get him the golden boot in the Eredivisie, and maybe I should have stuck with Ziyech, who has better pen rating. Hopefully that does not come back to bite us in the booty hole right here, but off of the pen, they keep it inbounds, and then they're away on the counter almost instantly. Electric stuff from Vitesse, or Vitesse. The people on the yellow flipping it over into the middle, and Onana, what a strong wrist save from the Cameroonian. Look at this, the ex-Barca B man just reaches out and says, "You shall not pass." What wrist strength. As I said, I've only seen Rick strength that strong in a gorilla. He probably rips his dick off when he masturbates. That is how strong that wrist is. And dearie B, he had to be strong once again. Good catch. And it was just not working, man. I don't know what it was. But we're going to go ahead and give a shot to maybe the undersung heroes. Isak coming in, trying to announce himself. You know, it was going to be hard for him. There was kind of murmurs like, maybe Isak should start. And then Dolberg goes ahead and gets a hat trick. It was like, you can go ahead and kiss that bye. But this is Isak's opportunity. Goes in, big shots inside, finds a bit of space, but fires it right into the keeper's. Just ugly, ugly mug. Almost becoming the hero once again for God knows how many times this season. And then just back and forth. We do win into the Winfield. Good stuff from him. Over to Isak. Again, fires it. And a trailing leg is able to take the sting off of it. Not. So close, so close. I'm so confident, like, when I'm taking those shots with Isak, that it's like, all right, that's in. Winner. And then, no, nothing. And then 0-0. It seems like we're going to have to just, you know, settle for a 0-0 draw. But then we fall asleep in the back. Poor positioning. Allowing a free runner to the back post. No one is there. And that is going to be our first loss of the season. This is dumb, man. It's just poor. I don't know what else there is to say. Poor positioning, tired legs, weariness, and overconfidence, man. We've been gliding in most of our competitions. And we got to take the L. We got to hold the L on this one. A little bit heartbreaking. Maybe, you know, there's a lot of other things that are going in. There are too many come from behind victory. The stress of doing the previous game being 4-3, and then, you know, all the transfer drama with Bazoer. Is he coming? Is he staying? Is Klaassen all of a sudden the captain? Is he going? Is he staying? I can see now why, you know, managers have to be masters in psychology as well as, you know, tactics and all that good stuff. But it's not the end of the world. It does. We had a foothold. We had an absolute two-handed stranglehold on the Eredivisie now. This really opens up the door for PSV and Feyenoord, which, I mean, will be a little bit more compelling for you guys. It's not that fun if we just run away with it. But as I said before, Mateo Cassier, we're going to go ahead, bring him down to, I think it's the Bundesliga 2 side. We're going to loan out. Hopefully he gets a little bit of run out there. And with that loss, I felt like, you know, Big Bad Bazoer wasn't in there, and missing Bazoer in there, will he go or will he stay, really, really hurt us, because it's the personnel that allows me to run this fantastic formation and play this brand of football that I really enjoy to play. So I came to the decision that I think, you know, at the start of the episode, I was like, maybe I'll keep him, maybe I won't, but I think it's just intelligent. If we're going to move on from him, we might as well move on from him now. And I think the scouting department has found 3 really qualified people in, you know, Jefferson Lerma, Brian Dabo, and Alfred Duncan that can all fill the role, that can do everything that Bazoer you know, could do maybe even better to an extent. And we're going to go ahead and do a swap deal for all 3 of them. And I'm going to ask you guys, I'm going to put their stats up right here. This is Mr. Dabo. As you can see, all of them are phenomenal. All of them are really physical. They are all rounders. They're very, you know, they can play both offensively, got good long shots for most of them, can finish, can pass. There's Dabo. There's Lermo, who's, I was about to say Cambodian. He is Colombian, which kind of goes along the sides of Casilla and Sanchez. And then the final one is Alfred Duncan, who I believe is Ghanaian, and he's just an absolute monster. So as you can see, all of them offer very similar traits and are around the same, well, a lot cheaper than the Big Bad Bazoer. And I think it's best, even though it is heartbreaking, that we move on from Bazoer, bring in someone who can fill those shoes and develop them. Ugh! This is a bummer, man, because I really love the kid. But at the same time, I'm excited, man. I'm excited to bring a couple of these. Like, look at the stats on those 3 guys. I think it really bring something really fun and new to this career mode. So those are your 3 choices. Go ahead and vote in the poll. I am going to be... I do apologize for the little bit of weird scheduling. I had to get the Hometown Heroes thing out of the way, and I am traveling up to San Francisco for the next week. So, you know, uploads are going to be a little bit sparse, but I will get you at least, you know, 3 to 4 career modes during the week that I am up there. I'm going to be bringing my rig up there. So if you did enjoy, if you do appreciate, you know, the content that I bring out to you, please go ahead, leave a like. And yeah, follow me on the Twitters. My name is Buenas. Happy freaking holiday to you guys. Remember to stay yourself, stay humble, and be weird.